Good evening, all of you. So today it is day 29. So in day 29, we are going to discuss about circular queues. So in day 28, I explain about circular. I explain about queue using array and queue using linked list programs. In day 29, we are going to discuss about circular queues. So first of all, why are going to introduce the circular queues? So first of all, why it will be introduced the circular queues. So what are the drawbacks there will be in the queues? So for example, you are discussing previous class about queue. So the insertion operation in a queue, the insertion operation can be take place through rear end, and the deletion operation can be take place through front end. So in a queue, the insertion operation can be take place through rear end, and the deletion operation can be take place through front end. So while deleting elements from the queue, so then the front end will be empty. So that means while deleting elements from the queue. So for example, you are deleted first element, second element, third element, and so on. So while deleting a first element, second element, third element, then I got some empty boxes here. So I got some vacant spaces. So some vacant spaces left in the queue, and these vacant spaces you can't be utilized. So in a queue, you are going to inserting a elements through rear end and deleting a elements from the front end. So while deleting elements from the front end, so there may be a possibility that some vacant spaces are left in the beginning which can't be utilized. So there is a vacant positions in the queue, and these vacant positions cannot be used, or you cannot insert 5, 6, 7, and so on. So why? Because once the rear pointer will be reached to the last position, then you cannot insert any more elements to the queue operation, even though the queue contains some empty vacant positions. So that cannot be utilized. So this is one of the limitation. So this is limitations of the queue or linear queues. So for overcome this limitation, we'll go to discuss the circular queue. I hope you'll be understanding what I am saying. So in a queue operation, the insertion can be take place through rear end, and the deletion can be take place through front end. So once the rear value will be pointing to the maximum size -1, and you cannot insert any more element through rear end. So even though the queue contains some vacant position in the queue, so even though the queue contains some vacant positions in the queue, you cannot insert a newly element into the queue. So this is one of the limitations of the queue. So for overcome this limitation, you have to uh, discuss about circular queues. So what is a circular queue? So it will be like as a circular buffer queue. So it will be a ring type of queues. So in this circular queue, you can delete the elements through front end, and you can insert the elements through rear end. And after deleting a front end, and again it is possible to insert the elements through rear end. So why? Because there is a empty vacant position in the circular queue. So if there is any vacant position in the circular queue, then it is possible to insert one more element into the circular queues. So whereas in a queue, if there is a vacant vacant position in the queue, you cannot insert, or you cannot utilize that space. So that is a drawback of using a queue. For overcome this limitation or drawback, you have to introduce the circular queue. So what is a circular queue? So a circular queue is similar to linear queue. So that means what you have discussed in previous class. So the circular queue is similar to the queue only, and it is also based on the first in first out principle. So first in first out principle. So what is the element you are going to insert as a first? That element can be going to delete it as a first. So but the difference is that the last position is connected to the first position. The last position is connected to the first position. So like in a circular queue. So like in a circular queue. So that's why it is also known as a ring buffer. So it is also called as a ring buffer. So the circular queue is similar to a linear queue, and it is also based on the principle first in first out. And here the difference between the queue and circular queue is that in circular queue the last position is connected to the first position in a circular queue that forms a circle, and the circular queue is also known as a ring buffer. And this is a circular queue. So as I said that the last position is connected to the first position of the circular queue. For example, in this first diagram, so I inserted the elements through rear end. I'm going to insert the elements through rear end, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Then uh, then it will be occupy all the elements in the circular queues. So that means if the front value or if the red value which will be connected to the uh, front next position is the front position. So if the rear connected to the first element, so that means the last position is connected to the first position. Are you understanding what I am saying? So that whenever the last position is connected to the first position, then you can say that the circular queue is full. I hope you will be understanding what I am saying. So whenever the last position is connected to the first position, then you can say that the circular queue is full. So for example, if I deleted some elements from the circular queue, like 1, 2, 3, I deleted 3 elements from the queue. So then the front pointer will be pointing to fourth element, and the rear value will be pointing to the last position. So now it is possible to insert one more elements into the queue. Why? Because there is a vacant positions in the circular queue. I hope you will be understanding what I am saying. So then it is possible to insert next element, that is a 9. So I inserted a next element 9. So then the rear value will be pointing to ninth element, and also I will be inserted 10th element. So then the rear value will be pointing to 10th element, and I will insert 11th element. So then the rear value will be pointing to 11th element. So whenever the last position is connected to the next position, that is the first position, then it is called as a, then you can say that the circular queue is full. I hope you'll be understanding what I'm saying. So the insertion operation and the deletion operation can be performed like as a queue only. So that means the insertion can be take place through rear end, and the deletion can be take place through front end. So but here, what is the difference here? The circular queue will be overcome the limitations of the queue. So what is the limitations of the queue? So in a queue, there is empty vacant positions in the queue. So even though you are not going to place any new element into the on that queue, so for overcome the drawback, we have to introduce the circular queues. So here, whenever you can say that the queue is full. So whenever the last pointer will be connected to the first pointer or first position, so then you can say that the circular queue is full. And similarly, you have to delete one by one element from the queue. For example, I deleted 4, 5 and 6 and 7. So then the front pointer will be pointing to the last element. So the front value will be pointing to last element and the rear value will be also pointing to last element. So whenever both pointer will be pointing to same position, at that time if we want delete that element, then the circular queue is empty. The circular queue is empty. So otherwise what you have to do, you have to insert a number of elements into the circular queue. So you can delete the elements through front end as well as through rear end will be also inserted the new elements. So that means it will be like as a cycle form. So we cannot say that we cannot say that the circular queue is full. So you can delete the elements parallelly, you can insert the elements. So that is the advantage of using a circular queues. So this is algorithm for circular queue NQ operation, that is a insertion operation. So for performing a NQ operation, you need to check if front value is equal to 0 and rear value is equal to size minus 1, or if front value is equal to rear plus 1. So that means the front pointer or the rear pointer will be a next one is a front pointer. I hope you'll be understanding what I'm saying. So, for example, in this example, the front pointer. So, it is a front pointer is equal to rear plus one. Is equal to rear plus one. That means the last end will be connected to the first position, or the first position will be connected to the last position. So that is called if front is equal to rear plus one. So if front is equal to rear plus 1, or if front value is equal to 0 and rear is equal to size minus 1, then you can say that the circular queue is full. So whenever this condition is going satisfied, then you can say that the circular queue is full. So whenever it is full, then you are not going to perform any more operations on the circular queue until you have to delete the elements from the circular queue. So next one, you need to check circular queue is empty or not for in a front side. If front is equal to minus 1, so if the initially the front value will be is equal to minus 1, so at that time, so if both pointer will be pointing to the same position, so that means while deleting one by one elements, then if both elements will be pointing to the same position, so then both will be equal to 0, or otherwise what you have to do, you have to check the q last position of the circular queue. So if rear is equal to size minus 1 or not, if rear is equal to size minus 1, then you have to set it as a rear value will be 0, otherwise you have to increment the rear value. So after that you can perform insertion operation. You have to read the elements from the keyboard, and you have to inserted the elements through rear end into the circular queue. So this is algorithm for performing insertion operation, and for deletion operation you need to check the front pointer. If front pointer is equal to minus 1, then you can say that the queue is empty. So otherwise what you have to do, you have to delete the elements from the front end in a circular queue. So while deleting elements through front end, if front value and rear value is equal to which will be pointing to same position, then you can set front value and rear value is equal to minus 1. So or otherwise what you have to do, so if front value is equal to size minus 1, then you have to increment the front value, or otherwise you can set front is equal to 0, or otherwise you can increment the front pointer. So this is a DQ operation or delete operation, and finally you have to display how many elements in the circular queue. So for that you have to use front end. If front is equal to minus 1, then we have to write circular queue is empty. Otherwise uh, you have to display by using a for loop for I equal to front, I less than or equal to rear. and I plus plus, then you have to print circular queue of I. So this operation will be, I think this operation will be similar to the queue operation. So the display operation in circular queue and display operations in queue operation will be same. Now let us see the example here. So that is algorithm. So I'm going to write this program. So here I'm going to mention the size of the circular queue will be 10. I will going to insert the number of elements up to 10 elements. So next one is I want to perform NQ, DQ and display operation, and I will use a do while statements, and I will go and perform case 1 NQ, circular NQ, circular DQ and display and exit, and you have to enter the choice from the keyboard. So if your choice is 1, then it will go and execute NQ operation. So then it will goes to the this NQ code, then it will go on to check all these conditions. After that it will go on to insert the elements through rear end into the circular queue, and similarly after that it will goes to the next break statement, that is after execution of case 1 it will go and terminate. So next whenever your choice is 2, then it will go and perform DQ operation, then it will goes to the circular DQ. So it will goes to the circular DQ operation, and it will go and check the condition. So if the front value is equal to -1, it will go and display circular queue is empty, or otherwise it will go and delete the element through front end. So like that it will go and check the all conditions, and after that it will go back to the case 2 and terminate the case 2. And if your choice is 3, then it will goes to the display function, and it will go on to execute this code, and it will go and display the elements. After execution of this code, and again it will go back to the case 3, and it will terminate the case 3 and exit. And if you are entering a choice will be out of these cases, then it will go and execute invalid choice. So that is about a circular queue. Now I'm going to execute this code in my Turbo C++. So this is a code, and I will go and compile the program first. So there is an error in my code, and you can execute the C program. So now it will be showing options NQ, DQ, display and exit. Now I will choose case 1, choice 1, and element is 1, choice 1, element 2, choice 1, element 3. Now we have to display. So now see here. So the array value, while performing insertion operation, the array value will be goes to incremented by 1, and which will be pointing to the last position, and at that time the front value will be remaining same only, that is a 0 only. So next while deleting elements from the circular queue, the array value will be incremented, and the front value will be going to incremented, and the array value will be pointing to the same position. Now let us observe the DQ operation. So deleted. So the first element will be deleted. Now we have to display. Now see here. So before the front value will be 0, after deleting a first element from the circular queue, then the front value will be equals to incremented by 1. That is a front equal to 1. And what about rear value? So the rear value will be remaining same only, and the element will be deleted in the circular queue, and remaining elements in the circular queue will be 2 and 3. Now we have to delete one more time. So now the delete element is 2. Now you have to display. Now see here. Now the front value and the rear value will be pointing to the same pointer. That is the third element. So whenever the front value and rear value will be pointing to the same position, if you delete that third element, then it will be reached to the -1. If front value and rear value will goes to the -1. So whenever the front value and rear value will goes to the -1, we can say that the circular queue is empty. So now here I'm going to select the choice one. Then I will going to add one more elements into my circular queue. Let us insert one more element 4 and choice one and 5. So now I inserted one more element 4 and 5. So here the maximum size of the circular cube will be 10, I mentioned in the program. So now I inserted total number of elements will be 5. So I deleted 1, 2 elements from the circular cube and remaining elements will be 3. And after that I inserted 4 and 5. Now we have to display. Now see here, the front value will be remaining in the second position and the rear value will be goes to incremented by 1 and it will pointing to the last position of the element, that is rear equal to 4. Now we have to delete. Now it will go and delete third element. Now what is the front value and what is the rear value? Now the front value will be goes to incremented by 1, that is the front equal to 3 now, and rear value will be same only. So please observe the previous front equal to 2. Now after deleting a third element from the circular queue, the front value is going to incremented by 1. Now the front is equal to 3 and rear value will be remaining same only. Now delete one more time. So 4. Now we have to display. Now the front pointer is going to increment it to 4 and similarly the rear value will be also 4 only. So that means both pointer will be pointing out to the last position. So whenever I deleted last position, so that is a choice 2, then I deleted the choice number 5. So then you have to display. Then what happened? So that means front value and rear value will be equals to -1. So whenever the front value and rear value is equal to -1, you can say that the circular queue is empty. And similarly, you have to perform DQ now. I want to perform deletion operation. Again, it will be also showing that the circular queue is empty. So that means there is no elements in the circular queue. I hope you'll be understanding what I am saying. And you can for exiting for exit you have to choose choice 4. Now it will be come back to the program. So that is a program on circular queue using arrays. And if you have any doubts, you can please post your query in the chat box. And these are the applications of a circular queues. So priority queues, CP scheduling, and round robin algorithms. Uh, I think this will be will be uh, will be there in operating system. So in operating system, we have to discuss about CP scheduling and round robin algorithms, and similarly priority queues. The priority queues will be discussed in data structures, advanced data structures, top under subject advanced data structures. You have to discuss about priority queues. So that's all about circular queues. So that's all about today. So that is about the circular queues. So what I said in the my entire 30 day of class. So my entire 30 day of class. So what are the topics I covered? So I covered the introduction about programming for problem solving, and after that I covered the C, and after that I covered in data structures linked list and single linked list, double linked list, circular linked list, and stacks and queues and circular queues I covered. So what are the topics I mentioned? What are the topics I mentioned in my entire this 30-day program? So I covered everyone. So that's all about. I hope this is the last class of the programming for problem solving. And if you have any doubts, you can post your query in the chat box. So you can post the query in the chat box. So I covered all the topics. So I covered the C and I covered the data structures, linked list, stacks, and queues. So these are the topics I want to discuss these entire day 1 to up to 30 day of the program. So this that is about a programming for problem solving. And if you are interested to take certificate e-certificate, so you need to pay 100 rupees for certificate. So if you are interested, I will provide certificate. So based on a payment, so you need to pay 100 rupees. So I will share the payment link in a WhatsApp group. I will share the payment in a WhatsApp group. So after payment is done, you can take a screenshots, and after that you can fill the Google form. So on that Google form, you have to fill your email ID and your name. You have to enter your name in capital letter. So I will write your name in certificate. So don't write any mistakes in our name. And after that, you have to enter a college name. So you have to mention your college name in shortcuts. So please mention your name of your college in shortcuts, or otherwise you can give a full name also. It's not a problem. And after that you have to enter the UPI ID number or UPI number or transaction number, and after that you can attach your screenshot payment screenshots in the Google form. So if you are interested, I will provide this certificate. So based on the payment of 100 rupees. So I will share the same in my this and in a description box. You can go to the description box, or if you are there in the WhatsApp group, so from that WhatsApp group you can pay the amount. So that's all about today class, and if you have any doubts, so please post your query. So if you want a e-certificate, you need to pay 100 rupees. So I will share the payment links. You can go to that payment link and you can pay the 100 rupees. So after payment is done, you can take a screenshot. After taking a screenshot, you have to fill the Google form. So on that Google form, you need to upload your screenshot. So the Google form contain name and your email ID, college name, and UPI number or transaction number, and followed by screenshot. So I will share the phone pay QR code. So you can scan the QR code and you can pay the 100 rupees. So it's not required to send the screenshot to me. So after payment is done, you can fill the Google form immediately. So after verification of a UPI number and your sending a screenshot, I will provide the certificate. So that's all about today class. And if you have any doubts, so please post your query in the chat box. And if you are interested this entire day of my lecture, so please give a feedback. So the all videos will be there in my WhatsApp in my YouTube. So please subscribe my channel. And in the next month, I will also conduct the one more program on Python programming. So if you are interested, you can join the Python programming also. So in the next month, I will also conduct it on Python programming. So I already shared the entire details too in the WhatsApp group. So this entire I will cover these topics in Python. So if you are interested, you can join the by using this link. So with the help of this link, you can join the Python programming. So that will be commence on 20 April to 19th May. So it is also a 30-day of program. So these entire 30-day of program, I want to cover basics of Python programming language. So I want cover the Python basics, control flow statements, functions, strings, list, dictionary, tuple sets and files, and regular expressions and operations and object-oriented programmings. So if you are interested, you can join the Python programming also. So that will be commence on 20th April to 19th May. So this is a registration link. So if you are interested, you can I will post the same registration link in the uh, WhatsApp group, and you can join the WhatsApp group also. So after registration is done, you can join in a WhatsApp group also. So this Python programming will be commence on 20th April to 19th May. So I will take the classes in YouTube. So the timings will be 6 to 6:45. So 6 to 6:45. The timings will be 6 to 6:45. So if you are interested for this Python programming, I will share the WhatsApp link, and I will share the registration link. You can click on the registration link and you can join. And if you are like this entire this 30-day of program, so please subscribe my channel. So I will share these Python programming 30-day of Python programming classes. If you are interested, you can join. You can click on the registration link and you can join, and after that you can join the WhatsApp group also. And same thing you have to share to your friends also. So the Python class will be commence on 20th April to 19th May. So the timings will be 6 to 6:45. So these are the topics I covered in the Python programming. So that's all about today class. So I will share the payment link. If anybody wants e-certificate of PPS programming for problem solving, you can pay the 100 rupees, and after that you can share your UTR number and a screenshot, payment screenshot uh, with help of a Google form. So that's all about today class. I will share the attendance link. All of you fill the attendance link. So thank you. We'll going to meet in the Python class. So this is the last class, and we will go and meet in the Python class on April 20th. So please share the Python programming classes uh, to your uh, to your friends also. So thank you. We'll go and meet in the